Welcome to Tabletop Topics. I'm your host, Jeff.
And I'm Jeff.
And today we got a special guest with us today.
First ever.
His name's Justin. He works with my brother, Jeff.
How's it going?
How you doing, Justin? How we doing today?
Not too bad.
We got a lot of interesting points to go through today. Jeff's buddy Justin was talking to him earlier in the month about something called sundown towns. I've heard about it, but I don't really know exactly like the meat and potatoes. Justin might have a really good example for us.
I've never heard about it.
You've never heard about it?
No, until Justin told me.
That's true. How do you know what? Let's find out what this is.
Yeah.
And then we'll ask you how you felt about that, Jeff. So go ahead, introduce yourself, Justin.
I'm Justin. I work with Jeff. Number 1 or 2, I'm not sure.
Number 1, because he's
clone
younger.
number 1.
Yeah, clone number 1 with hair.
Actually, I heard about that topic. I was watching a TikTok video one day, and it was a truck driver going into a certain town in Texas. I don't know if I should put the name of the town out there, but
yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
I heard it was.
It's a big country.
I heard it was Vader, Texas.
Texas.
Avoid that town, please.
Yeah.
Nice sketch.
So he was going in. He started, obviously seeing like weird people looking at him weird and everything. And when he got to his destination, he got there a couple hours early or a day early. I don't remember, what exactly it was. But the people that were receiving him was, talking. They called their manager over, and he's like, we're just gonna get you unloaded now instead of you waiting, and we're gonna get you out of here. We don't want to be responsible for your well-being. The guy's like, why? Like, what's going on? He's like, oh, this is a sundown town. He's like, well, what's that? He's like, you just, look it up, whatever.
I
can't tell you.
I can't tell you about Fight Club, bro. That's the first rule.
So he, he's all right, and they unloaded him. And he was driving out. And he said he looked it up, and, it's a town where colored people are not welcome, to put it lightly. And he also said he's seen, I don't know if it's going into that town or somewhere around there. There was a doll, a black doll in a Confederate flag hanging from a tree, and
That's
you know
crazy.
that should have been like a red flag from the
big
get-go.
fags, bro.
Well, the question I got for you, sorry for interrupting, but the question I got for you is, was it just black people, or were they talking about Spanish or any other ethnicity?
Anybody but
Asian,
like, white,
yeah.
I believe in that video it was, you know, because he was black, so I'm assuming he was talking like black people in general.
Right,
Mhm.
for sure.
But I'm assuming, because I had like, yo, what, you know, this is still going on. Obviously, I know there's still racism in
Right,
America.
right.
Of course,
and
You
shit.
got
yeah.
hot spots and shit. Like
But
that,
to be
right.
that like well known, like to where everybody, yeah, that's, you know, that's a town where they don't.
That's
Yo, why is that all
crazy.
right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
I looked it up, and I guess it's for like if you're not white, so it doesn't matter you're black, Hispanic. It's just,
Okay.
you got to be white.
Damn, does that kind of like fall into like shit like gerrymandering and shit? Is that like a more aggressive gerrymandering where like you like draw districts to keep certain individuals out and then keep the population a certain race kind of, and then like you enforced by that population.
I don't even know that was still like acceptable.
A thing,
You know,
yeah.
that's something that I wouldn't be
Well, because you know,
comfortable in. You know what I'm
because
saying?
it's like most of the shit today, it's like even if it's there, it's under the table.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
like you really gotta like pick at that shit
Yeah.
to be like, all right, I just exposed.
and
you,"
it's
shit
always like
that.
covered with, like, you know, it's
Mhm.
covered, but it's still known, you know. But that's just like, it's well known. It's, yeah, you go here, shit, you know, shit's gonna happen to you.
Damn. All right, so I pulled up a wiki.
Just in case a lot of you guys don't know what sundown town is.
Sundown towns, also known as sunset towns, gray towns, or sundowner towns, are all white municipalities or neighborhoods in the United States that practice a form of racial segregation by excluding non-whites via some combination of discriminatory local laws, intimidation, or violence. The term comes from signs that posted that colored people have to leave the town by sundown. Oh, that's true. Entire sundown counties and sundown suburbs were created by the same process. The practice was not restricted to southern states. So it's not even just like a South thing.
No,
Like anyone could. Oh, that's true.
but
That's
it's
true.
I haven't heard anywhere else. Like, I haven't heard like the name of it, but I've heard obviously different areas being like that, but mainly in the South. Like, I haven't heard anything like north.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Like, because the only example they give is Jersey, but that was in the '60s.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
Like,
I've been
that
there
was-
several times, and
Well, come on, it's
yeah, I was about to say,
it's
you
a
don't
lot
see
more-
that.
Yeah, it's hella flavor up there. History. All right, so the earliest legal restriction on nighttime activities and movements of African Americans and ethnic minorities. Okay, that's history in colonial era. Okay, so they're essentially just saying it's been active since even before like we established the entire country. So it's just something that's been carried on. Reaffirming a curfew. So notices emphasizing and reaffirming curfews usually before 9 o'clock. So you got to be out of town before 9 o'clock. So Negro and mulatto slaves and slaves to the disquiet
Mulatto.
and the hurt of Her Majesty's subject. No Indian, Negro, or mulatto is to be home before 9 o'clock. That's true. That's true. See, even in Oregon. So even though in 1844, even after they banned slavery, they just banned African Americans from the territory.
From
altogether.
specific.
No,
I mean, it
That
is.
was
That's
dumb.
crazy.
That is crazy.
That's
because nobody
crazy.
else commits crimes at night. You know?
Yeah.
Besides,
Just
Yeah.
black people.
That's true. And that's what we was talking about yesterday
So-
about the home thing. It's like 9 times out of 10, the person who commits a crime on you is in your neighborhood.
Mhm.
In your
Exactly.
neighborhood.
Because they know what you got.
Because they know what you got.
Yeah.
They know when you're in and out of the house, when you're doing,
If-
X, Y, Z and shit.
If
like
I
that.
was, doing that, I want to go to a random house, take the chance of getting arrested,
Or getting
if you're
shot.
not, or getting shot, especially in Florida.
That's
Especially for
facts,
If you don't know
boy.
what's in there, like, you're not gonna go in there and be like, oh, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna take, but hopefully it's something good. No,
Exactly.
man.
It's like a 50-50 chance.
Mhm.
So the question is, why would you do that?
Mhm.
And like this shit was like popping off so crazy like in the 60s. They actually had the Negro Motorist Green Book. So It was like for
What is that?
So you know how they have like travel guides?
Travel guides.
Yeah, it was a travel guide with a map
for Negroes.
for black people.
To
Yup.
Dude, what show? That was on. That's on a show. Exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Is it? I think it's a Netflix show that I remember. He used to. He would go around selling. Damn, I can't think of what he was selling, but it was. He pulled out a book because he was going and his dad.
Like
was
little
like,
pamphlets and
yeah,
shit,
his
right?
dad, dad pulled out the booklet and was like, well, you can't go to this town, or this town. You know, so he would. I just can't remember. I'll think of it after everything's over, but I
Yeah.
can't think of what show it was.
So it was called the Green Book, and essentially told you so road trips for African Americans who were fraught with inconvenience and dangers because of segregation and racial profiling by police. I think the only thing that's really left over from that, there was one where they gave an example where like it's mostly enforced by the law enforcement where it's like, okay, so second generation sundown towns.
That's just insane to me that's something like that. I get that there's racism in
Right,
the
right.
world.
That's
and
a
the
that's a
United
fact of
States,
life.
but
Right, right.
The question
You know what
to
I'm
me,
saying?
the crazy thing is the fact that people that live there know that. Like some of them probably question it and say, "Well, why are we doing this?"
Well, it's
And
fear and ignorance, bro.
Yeah.
Once
that's
you
true.
other someone, it's just easy to like victimize them. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
once it's oh man, they're coming for you. Who's there? I don't know. But these are the symptoms of the other folks. You know what I'm saying? And then once they sell you on that, they could sell you on anything.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying? And you don't want to be the
You don't want to be that person.
you don't want to be the black swan, the ugly duckling. and
You're
all
talking
that.
about Lovecraft Country.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lovecraft Country.
That's it.
Lovecraft.
trying to look it up.
Yeah, Lovecraft.
It's on HBO Max.
It's on HBO Max.
that-
yeah,
yes.
Lovecraft Country.
He's what's he sell?
He sells his father sells the pamphlets, so
Yes.
Negroes can navigate
The Green
around.
Book, right,
Yeah,
right.
the Green Book.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and Jonathan Major is one of the characters in the
It's
show.
a good show.
But I watched the entire first season.
Lovecraft
Lovecraft
Oh,
Country.
shit.
So he, like he was saying, his father would go around with his wife selling the Green Book, so Negroes can navigate where they can eat, where they can't eat.
And yeah, he would. I remember in the show he would test like he would end up getting like beat up and jumped and everything. And
Oh, yeah.
mark down this is where we cannot go.
yeah.
And go on
Yeah.
through it.
Oh,
you
so
know.
he actually like
yeah, he'll travel through each town
And he had to
each
test
state
it.
and tested where Negroes were allowed to go and where they weren't. And you know, because of that, he would get jumped or anything like that.
Well, this was the crazy
Service
thing.
wise too.
Yeah, because they went to a diner where they thought they can sit, but then they wouldn't serve them on a specific episode. So they left because the cops were coming. But they had to do the speed limit, but they also had to get across the borderline before
In time.
Oh yeah. And
Before
even
the
before the
sun
sun went
dies.
down. And then that you're right. I did see it.
That's-
So I knew what it was, but I didn't understand that in modern day because
Right.
that was something.
And I believe that episode was or that they had that diner didn't have like only white people or anything like that.
because it was a sundown town.
yeah.
There was no black.
There was no sign saying that they couldn't.
Oh, they couldn't. It was
Yeah.
just like.
But they went in there. People were like, and everybody, the waitress ignored them. They went up to the counter and like, hey, can we get service? Nobody even talked to them. They looked. They went to the back.
Called 911.
Right, and this was like.
Called the cops.
So he's experiencing this like he don't even know like the idea of a sundown town. He's just kind of like, all right, let's just see where I can go, where I can't go. So like, there's no signs posted nowhere, nothing.
Nothing. No
Nothing.
colors. No separate, segregated fountains or anything like that because it's an all white.
Now,
town.
what's the time period of this? What's the time set? 50s, 60s, earlier maybe?
Let me double check.
Because I know
It has to. Yeah, it has to be in
1950s.
1950. Yeah,
Trip
okay.
across country
Right.
in the 1950s. Jim Crow America in search of his missing father. Yeah.
And like think about that too, like 1950s, bro. Like that wasn't like that was a long time ago. It was like my boy told me. He's like, time moves fast, but it also moves slow.
Of course.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Generationally, it moves fast.
Mhm.
But like when you look, no, okay. Individually, it moves fast, but generationally, it moves slow. Because the folks that were born or alive there are still probably alive today. You see what I'm saying? So like
Either in their 70s or 80s.
yeah, 70s, 80s, they're up there. So like, you know,
And they haven't adapted to anything.
anything.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
that's
sure
the
they're not
crazy
even on
thing.
the internet like that.
No.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
if they, they still treat it as it's in the 50s
In the
and
50s and 60s.
Which is why they're still using them flip phones. Oh, they have the landlines.
Bro, they should have like public courses on like using the fucking internet. No, seriously, because like you would see shit you wouldn't see in real life.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like oh damn, I didn't know that was a real thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even if you don't agree with the shit that's happening, like at least go on the internet and see like oh shit, that's actually happening somewhere in the country. You feel me? So when it comes to that, it's like people who grew up during that time, their way of life, that's what they believed in. That's how they lived their life up until recently, where like even 2008, even with like gay marriage, that was a crazy ass concept until it was nationally legalized in 2008. That was 16 years ago.
I
Yep.
graduated in 2008.
You
Yep.
feel me?
Yep.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like you could still like, bro. We had internet, we had TV in color, we had flat screens. You know
All
what
that
I'm saying?
stuff like that, but a lot of people didn't agree with
It
it.
was
yeah.
modern time, but like it was just like that idea.
Well, I mean, and to bring it in and to say everything that's happening now, from back in, if you get somebody from 2008, 7 or 6, whatever, but this
Right.
is what's going to be happening in 2022.
2020,
Get
you've
the-
been like this shit
get the
crazy.
fuck outta
Get the
here.
fuck
I'm
out of
like,
here.
nah, that's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, it's trip. It's trip, man. But like that's great. Like me, because like me, for me, the way I move through life, like it's more of like I'm not looking. I don't know how to say it. I'm not looking to be like victimized. You see what I'm saying?
You don't want to pull the black card.
Right.
Yes, I got
Because
you.
like at the end of the day, I know everyone doesn't get the same fucking plate.
No.
You see what I'm saying? And whether you have to put more work in or less work in, that just builds your character, that builds who you are.
Exactly.
And then that'll motivate other people down the line. You have an experience genuine to yours.
Exactly. That's why at the job that I'm at, I don't pull the race card,
Right.
even though I see that.
Even though a certain person has before.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, like I don't have a problem working for what I want to get, even if I got to work twice as hard.
Exactly, and
You
that's
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, it fucking sucks, but it's
It
a
is what
fact
it
of
is.
life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's someone else in another country who don't even got the freedoms that I could dream of having here.
That's why this is the
You
best
know what I'm
country
saying?
in the world.
But it doesn't mean we can't get better. You understand what I'm saying?
There's
Doesn't
always-
mean
there's always room for
like
improvement.
we're
And you-
never just done. You feel me?
And we can't, me, myself, can't sit there and say that, oh, well, and know that me and you, or me and Jeff had equal treatments. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because no matter how you look at it, there's always going to be a certain person in the company that we work for, no matter, what level that person is going to go to one side versus the other. Like, all right, give certain me
Everyone
an
has
opportunity.
like
Yeah.
Everyone
they're
has
ready, yeah.
Everyone has a precondition. We
Yeah.
could try to be as objective as possible, but it's like when I was growing up, I was literally in a lot of advanced classes and stuff like that. I was always the only black guy in the class. You see what I'm saying? So it's like subconsciously, like you see it, but it's like I'm not paying attention to it. I'm clearly I'm in the right place.
That
you know,
or don't
like-
treat me different
But
because I am.
But didn't you get treated like differently?
Oh
from
yeah,
your
That's what I was about to
absolutely.
say, because
So
Absolutely.
you're in an all white class. Oh, well, you're smart. You're in the
Exactly,
advanced
that's what I was
classes.
about to
So,
say.
oh, you go hang with the white people, or you with the nerds.
You
and
with
this
the
and that.
nerds? Oh,
you had to pick and choose where you
right,
belong.
right. Oh, you think you're different?
So
da,
it
da,
does.
da.
It works. It definitely goes.
There's
the
a
both
pros and
ways.
cons.
Right.
But I definitely don't go through life thinking that everybody's given the fair and equal opportunity.
Equal opportunity.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, that I wish that would be the case.
That'd be
but
amazing.
even in this year, it's still not. It doesn't happen.
And it bleeds into so many aspects of life. Like even in just like if we want to consider even the economy, if you treated everyone equally, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily equally, but like if everyone had the same opportunity to achieve the same goals, regardless of their starting point, like a basic human need, like a basic human requirement for us to either achieve or fail. So it's like, hey, you get a standard of living that everyone starts off with. We all start at the same
Level.
checkpoint.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then you could see the character of each person. That way you don't have an excuse to other somebody. Well, this is the reason why. This is, like, if everyone had a equal a starting point, a equal standard of living from the jump, whether they move forward now depends on their work ethic and their character.
Well, and that's where it sucks sometimes too, because the company that we work for, they have to meet a quota of certain minorities or certain people who are gay or straight or black or
Right.
this and that, and that shouldn't be a thing, because it's like, I work hard, I should
Right.
move up like
We
everybody
shouldn't
else.
have to go-
not because my skin color is different is the reason why you're promoting me, or this or
Right.
I'm a woman is the reason why you're promoting me, or any of that.
Right.
And of course, like I said, I look at it the same way. If him and I have the same starting point, we should all be moving up at the same point, not
Based on your work ethic.
exactly.
Right.
I
It
work
should-
hard and I know my knowledge.
Exactly.
Let me move
you
up.
See what I'm saying?
So-
Like, based on the work ethic in that aspect. But like, going back to what you call it, sundown towns. Like, the only instance where I could feel like we were in a place where we weren't supposed to be, Polk County.
When we were
Oh
going,
wow, yeah.
Yes.
Polk
Oh, yeah.
County.
when we were going to,
Oh,
or
yeah.
when we were coming back from
Back
Orlando,
from Orlando.
we went to Universal Studios. Oh, this is a story.
Bro.
Okay, so we went to Universal Studios. We're coming back from Universal Studios after going to Islands of Adventure and of Universal Studios.
It's in the name. Right.
And we didn't take 75. We took the shortcut.
We took the back road.
we
What
took-
was it?
LaBelle. We went through LaBelle, and then we took the back road.
Was that
Yes,
80?
Deuce.
State Road 80?
No, it's not 80.
the back road?
I-4.
No. I know which way it's, because you go through Sebring as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
You go
Yeah,
through
yeah,
Sebring,
yeah.
you go through
Yeah.
Parto,
Mhm.
Polk County, stuff like yeah, you go all through the, I
So
forget what it is.
his
what
car,
it is.
his car outside is tinted, but it's of course of the legal limit. So we're driving.
Mine's not.
I should invest in getting. Before we get to that, I saw some crazy stat. They were like, minorities gets pulled over less at night because it's harder to see them. I'm like, no, stop playing.
You're
I'm
joking.
like, y'all really did a whole study on this? Like, come on, man, that's common sense as hell. Like, what the hell? You're not gonna see me. And that goes for everyone across the board. If you can't see me through the window, you can't
But they do. I
Other
remember I had it was a Dodge Stratus 2-door. I had tint on. It was dark. I had rims on it, music, whatever. Windows are up, and I did get pulled over. I wasn't doing, like, I was going through a part of Lehigh or whatever. I wasn't speeding or anything, but I got randomly pulled over. I had no idea why.
Oh, that's true.
But it was like, I rolled down my window. He had like a different tone, because I could see where he's walking up. I'm like, all right, what? And I pulled the window down and gave him, okay, cool, no. I had
When you
I had
see me, I'm white.
yeah.
Mine ain't go that black, but when you see me, I'm right. I love that, bro. That boy nuts.
But it all depends on what car you're driving. You can
Yep.
get profiled as well.
That's
Yep.
facts. That is absolutely, especially like sports cars.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially
which-
when you
But
can
if you got a sports car looking sports car, whatever, dark tints, you got rims on it.
Oh yeah,
You're
playing
thumping.
with- you put
you a whole red flag.
You're not white apparently. You know what I'm
You a
saying?
whole red flag.
But
They're
they
like,
put
yo,
out
we
one-
pulling this guy over. We got to see what's
Oh,
up.
sorry, sir. Is your friend in the back?
Oh.
So are you being detained right now? Or do you need help? Do you need us?
I
Yeah,
wish, bro.
exactly.
I remember-
Exactly.
I do got a story for that too.
But let me
But,
get
yeah,
back
yeah.
to let me get back to Polk County. So we're heading back, and then we were running through Polk County, and we're on the third right lane, because it was a 3-lane road, a 6-lane road, so 3 going up, 3 going down. And then there was a cop on the third lane.
He was actually at the intersection.
He was at
He was
the
in
intersection.
he crossed the intersection and then came right around it. Like he looked.
Oh yeah, because he did a U-turn
Yeah. He
out of nowhere. So he was in the third lane, then he transitioned to the middle lane. Then he transitioned right behind us, and I was watching him the whole time. I said, "All right, Jeff, we're not doing this." I said, "I know what's gonna happen."
no wait. He followed us for like 20 miles, bro.
Which
they
is
can't-
which is illegal.
which is
Yeah.
illegal. Yeah, they can't do that.
I think over a mile is
It was
illegal.
wow. I switched lane. He went right behind me.
Yep.
Switched another lane. He went right behind me. I was
Mhm.
like, "Hey Jeff, this is getting real
Yep.
sketch, bro."
We're gonna pull into
We're
the
gonna-
Hobby Lobby
the
home.
Home Depot. It was a Home Depot parking lot. So we pull into the parking lot. He pulls in right behind us in the parking lot, and we're looking for a parking spot. And this guy is just like following
circling.
the whole. He's sharking.
So we parked in, and then we went inside the store, and we
just stayed there
for
bro.
15 minutes just to wait. And then after that,
we were looking out the window just waiting for him. He was just driving around the parking lot, and then he pulled up right behind our car, and then just kind of stood. I guess he was like looking at the place or something like that, and then just dipped. And then me and my brother were like, all right, let's go.
Yep.
And we headed out,
but after that, now we take 75.
Yeah, we take the busy roads.
Now we take 75. Definitely not
busy roads.
Not gonna take Polk County anymore, but.
I mean, I've been up there quite a few times, and I can't say that the whole town is like that.
Yeah,
but there are some older people that.
Oh, of course.
Just like anywhere, but it is a town that you get the vibe from.
I got the vibe.
But if you, if you talk to the most of the people or the kids or people our age,
right?
They're
cool as hell.
They're cool as shit.
Yeah, and we're not
right.
disregarding Polk County because what was this, like the early 2012s?
But it definitely gives you the vibe of like a sundown town,
right?
Because you get driving through it. You definitely get the vibe, but if you talk to some of the people there, I got a couple people that I know that live up there.
Yeah,
and it's cool. They're down to earth. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
right, for sure.
It just gives out that vibe.
All you gotta do is talk to people.
Yeah. Exactly, and that's it.
That's all you gotta do. Just talk to people, and you understand where they're coming from. Because it's like the way, like no one ain't upfront racist. And here's the thing. And I always
it's okay. You can laugh.
And I always tell people. Here's the thing. I always tell people. It's like, bro, if you racist, be racist to my face.
Yeah.
Like, let me see who I'm talking
to.
But
they don't want to deal with the consequences from that.
They don't know what the consequences are.
And they don't want to deal with it.
Because you gotta understand. You gotta understand the stigmatism with us. We're angry black people. Right. So they don't want to be racist to your face. Yeah, exactly. They don't want to be racist to your face, and then you end up
retaliating
or punching them in the face. Like so of course that's a natural reaction. They're not going to be racist to your face. They'll be racist behind your back.
I feel it. Because it's like when it's like under the table and you plotting and scheming.
But you can always get the vibe from somebody. You
that's
know
facts.
What I'm saying? Like,
that's facts. And that's facts. And it's like I don't have a problem. Like we all exist on one planet. If you don't like me, we got enough space.
Well, you can
we
go
in the continental U.S. It's like 50 mini countries put together under one government. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you're in an area where, shit like that's happening, and not everyone can move, and I understand it. If you're in an area that shit like that's happening, like, you can find people that you relate to. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're away from what you know is trouble. Like, if you're on your P's and Q's and you see some shit and you know some shit, you're going to stay away from it. Mm. So you're never going to be involved in it. And it works vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but when it gets to the point where it's like, there's an active, like, effort.
To try to be.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
That's an issue.
Like, when you're looking to, like, and I don't want to say it's like Zionist or shit like that. Like, use some crazy fucking words and shit, but like I don't want to say.
Hey, sir, can you bring up the definition of that? I have no idea what that means.
Sir,
oh, bro,
please say it in English.
Thank you, sir.
I want to have that conversation with Skylar.
Jesus, that's gonna be
because I need to cover my bases. Because if I speak anything about that, we get canceled. Zionism. So, all right. Ignore that, but it's mostly applied to this.
Okay.
But you can apply it to any group that believes this.
But it's more focused on them.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So it's like where you want to... So an international movement, not with them, not with just Jewish people, but a national religious community for like a ethno-state. So like a country or a town or a county where it's like we're all the same. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like a reverse Nazism. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like we're not going out here to fucking hunt people down and da-da-da. We just picked a territory that's ours, and we're only letting ours in.
Gotcha. You can drive through, but that's about it?
That's about it.
Like Utah. with the LDS.
Good thing I ain't never
What's
going
that?
to Utah.
LDS?
Something Latter-day Saints or whatever. That religion. It's based. It's I don't. And
Is it like some cult shit?
No, it's well, my opinion. You know, I don't want to get blasted. It seems like the whole state of Utah is that. You know what I'm saying? But
oh, they even got one in Lehigh too. Okay.
They got one here. Oh Jesus.
Oh, Mormon. Oh, bro. Yo, so we seen that video. We seen a 1950s.
We're gonna jump off topic for a second, guys.
We seen a 1950s Mormon video, or was it 19? Yeah, I'm gonna say 19. It was in color, and it was explaining the history of like the Earth and Mormonism in like Mormon texts, and it was like there was the gods that ruled of heaven. Of course, you had God himself, but Jesus was like one of the gods himself, and then Satan was one of the gods, and I guess they were having like a discussion. The way I saw the video, they were having like a discussion on
Satan said people should be allowed, humanity should be allowed to do whatever they want, free will.
Was it free will?
Yeah, it was free will.
Satan said that?
Yes.
Not Jesus.
Oh, Satan.
Because I thought Satan was jealous of the because he wanted like humans to be like
Subservient?
no, like with the gods or something like that. He wanted, I don't know what he said. I'd have to go back on it, but pretty much it was weird. So like they cast Satan down, and then he leaves with the angels who soon be turned into demons, and then some of the other angels went to Earth to like populate the Earth along with Jesus, so he could deliver the message of
And
God.
the ones that were neutral.
And of course, there was this historical battle that's still going on today, and those who sided with Jesus and God were white. And they were angels, and those who sided with Satan were demons. But those who were neutral or indifferent,
They didn't choose a side.
that didn't choose a side, they were born as the Negro.
wow.
That was trip. When I tell you that shit had me rolling, I was like, hey
Jesus.
man, like I'm pretty sure.
There's a good show I'm watching Under the Banner of Heaven on Hulu right now.
Ooh,
And it's a good show. And
Under the Banner, bro. You recommended some good shows, man. I like.
And the reason I brought that up because it has to do with the Latter-day Saints and certain beliefs now versus the original.
Right? That's all.
And the detective in this show has to deal with his brother basically because he's a member of the same church, whatever, doing something, committing a crime, but it's like I don't know in his beliefs they're both the same religion, but he's going back to the original.
It's kind of like Old versus New Testament.
like having like 33 wives and have multiple wives,
Right.
shit like that.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
He's kind of like you could tell what's his name? Andrew Garfield is the main.
Oh,
main
it's that new
character.
show.
It's the new show that. Okay, what's it called again?
Under the Banner of Heaven.
Under the Banner of Heaven. Oh yeah.
And you can tell that he's conflicting with like his beliefs now. Like he doesn't believe that you should have multiple wives, but the same brother in the same church. This is how it should go. This is the original. This is the way we should follow. Stuff like that.
Right.
So it's a good show. It's a lot of, if you're not I don't know, just. If you're not with that, a whole different there's a religious and then there's like extremist and
Oh yeah.
Oh, bro,
so-
I love like me.
it's a good show in my opinion. So that's why I see. But it's based in I think Utah, but it's like I listen to a lot of crime podcasts and like whether it's in it's Utah and there's another state that's highly like Latter-day Saints
Super
religion,
theology and all
and
that.
that's why I said Utah. But
So are you saying avoid Utah?
oh
Bro,
no sir.
Wait, the Grand Canyon's in Utah, right? No,
Nah.
that's Arizona.
Yeah.
Wait, then what's in Utah? Colorado.
Are you having a brain fart, Jeff?
Wait, is it Utah, Colorado? No,
No.
Utah's a whole state. Yo, I'm tripping.
Are you okay?
I promise I ain't smoked nothing.
We're
bro.
about to pray for him right
I
now.
promise I ain't smoked nothing. All right.
pray on it.
Moment of silence. But
yeah.
Yeah, and then real quick, the guy he in one of the scenes he has questions about because yeah, I don't want to. There's certain group.
you don't want to like.
Yeah, there's a
ruin-
certain group
okay.
that they're trying to follow the original scripture or the original ways of the LDS, whatever.
Mhm.
And basically, this chick was like, yeah, if you can't be like baptized to cleanse your sins or whatever, or if you do something so bad, you basically have to shed that person's blood on the floor. I forget, it's a blood something.
Whoa, blood sacrifice.
Like a
I don't. They didn't call it. They didn't say a blood sacrifice, but it was like basically, they didn't say. But in other words, you got to kill that person. You got to shed their blood to shed the sins or
like
whatever.
blood for sin or sin for blood or
Something like that. And the detective, he's like,
That doesn't sound.
I'm not good with that, So he goes to his bishop and he's talking to him, and bishop's like, just put your questions on the shelf.
Whoa.
And just, basically put your question on the shelf and just pray about it and go on with your life, basically.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But you got this group out here like killing people and this and
to
that.
cleanse their sin.
Yeah, because in their opinion, they can't come back from whatever they did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And,
Wait, so is killing a sin? So like, if I kill someone and I want to cleanse my sin, I got to kill someone else.
I'm just going for what
That
it is
true.
on the show.
That's true.
No, definitely, we'll check out that show.
That's true. All right, moving on
To the next bullet point.
Okay, so
Pew pew.
was it early? No. So late last month, Big Daddy DeSantis.
Ronnie D.
Yeah. So he promised Florida permitless carry gun laws before he leaves the governor's office. Real quick, what are your thoughts on that?
What are your opinions
Yeah.
on gun laws?
Yeah, on gun laws. Like, how do you what is the ideal way we should be able to exercise our Second Amendment within, this topic, I guess.
Because
Like,
explain to him what he wants to do though.
okay, so what Ron DeSantis wants. So, April 29th, Friday, Ron DeSantis promised to push for a bill allowing Floridians to publicly carry firearms even if they have not previously taken a training course or got a permit.
Wow.
I can tell you that when
Shit show's about to happen.
Bro, I'm telling you, I can't tell you exactly when, but I'm pretty confident that I will be able to sign constitutional carry into law in the state of Florida, DeSantis said. The legislature will get it done. I can't tell you if it's going to be next week, 6 months, but I can tell you that before I'm done as governor, we will have a signature on that bill. The term constitutional carry is a name for the policy often used by its supporters who argue citizens should be able to carry weapons with or without a permit because of the U.S. Constitution's Second Amendment. Handgun owners in Florida are currently required to get a license to carry their weapons in most public places. Those licenses allow them to carry the weapons concealed on their person. In order to get a concealed weapons permit, a handgun owner has to take a firearms training class that includes instructions involving
I'll get to that.
the live firing of a loaded gun. Gun owners are allowed to openly carry their firearms without a permit in certain limited circumstances while hunting or traveling to and from a hunting expedition.
You can, while fishing as well.
Oh, while fish. Oh,
Mhm.
for sure.
If you're fishing, you can openly carry.
Okay.
Okay. Because I know, like some is like you shoot the fish, right? Like
Apparently, I guess that's allowed. But hunting and then fishing's also and grouped into that. You can,
Okay.
you can sit there and be fishing and have open carry, and it's fine because you're fishing.
Right.
It goes under the umbrella. I'm assuming.
Okay, right. Because you're operating in like a vehicle, and of course that counts as hunting
Mm-hmm.
too. I guess you could say that. Okay, so Nikki Fried, Democrat who oversees the state concealed carry permit, she said this is absurd political pandering from the government of a state that has experienced some of the worst mass shootings in our country's history. And in a nation where we have the highest rate of gun violence in the world, Freed said it's an insult to the memories and families of every victim for gun violence. All right. That's where I'm going to
Going base. Okay, so we're gonna ask. Well, I'm gonna ask you because you're a gun carrier.
Mm-hmm.
What is your opinion on that?
Oh, first, what was the process of you getting your gun?
Yeah.
I went to a place to get my because I was a concealed carry. I had my concealed carry. It expired in 2018. Didn't renew it, so I just renewed it this past year. So you got to go take your test again. Which depending on where you go, what you can go to there's multiple places like gun shops, or there's people that do it that they're certified,
like private,
that do it privately.
Right.
Come to your house, they go over the information, you take a test, and you fire. The firing course is what they're talking about. Since they don't go into detail about it.
Yeah.
So,
I think I pulled up requirements to purchase a firearm. So those one. Okay. So what are the requirements to purchase a firearm? Did they just up the age to 21 now?
No,
Or-
you have to be 21 to purchase a handgun. You can be 18 to purchase a rifle and a shotgun.
Okay.
I believe that's how
Right.
it's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Rifles and shotguns
but
may be purchased. Yeah.
You don't have to have a concealed to purchase a handgun. You just have to wait. I believe it's 3 days. For whatever reason, they pick 3 days. I don't know whether it's to change your mind if you want to go shoot somebody.
Let me shoot you and then come back.
If
Oh,
you go,
man.
you can go to Bass Pro. If you don't have a concealed, you can purchase a handgun. You wait the 3 days. You come back. You take it home with you. But if you have a concealed carry, you can take it home that day. You show
okay.
you. They run your information. They run your license and everything, and you're able to take it that day.
Okay. So like, concealed carry doesn't necessarily mean you can't have it in your home. You can't fire it on your property.
Yeah, you can. If you don't have to have a concealed carry to have a gun in your home.
On your home. Okay.
Yeah.
On your person. Okay. It's just when you leave.
When
the
you
house.
when you leave your
Okay.
I don't know how they call it. They call your home like it's with stand your ground law. I forget what they call it.
Sheesh. Hold on, let me pull that up real quick. But
But yeah, if you just need it to where if you're traveling anywhere, you're going into public places, you just got to have that license.
But that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to take that away.
I mean,
the conceal. Yeah, because like for me, when I first heard about that, they were okay. So home protection, use, threaten of deadly force, presumption of fear, death or great bodily harm, dwelling like
Dwelling,
a resident.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you're dwelling. Okay.
you leave your dwelling, but your dwelling can, I believe, it can be under like a vehicle too. Like if you're in your vehicle and someone tries to come up you, like to rob you or whatever, and they either put their hand in your window, that's basically like breaking into your.
They broke into your right.
Even though they didn't break a window or anything like that, it still would classify under that. I
Right.
believe.
I think that's smart
I'm
too,
not
because
a
like
lawyer or anything, but
because like this protects
assuming.
this protects homeless people too. Because like, what if you're living in your car?
Yeah,
Mhm.
You know
yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
Like that could protect you from being victimized and shit like that. People robbing you while you're sleeping in your car. You could. So you have the gun in your car. So once it leaves your car, that's when you need it concealed.
they carry it on person. You
Okay.
gotta have it. Yeah.
All right, for sure. For sure.
And that's only when if you get into trouble. I'm assuming because the whole idea of it is to be concealed. Like nobody's supposed to know that you have it on body,
Right.
on person.
Yeah.
So
And-
to have that license stating that, okay, yeah, I can carry on person, but no one's supposed to know that you have it until actually,
Something
God
happens.
forbid, something happens to
Mhm.
where you have to defend yourself or others around you from bodily harm. Then obviously they can be, all right, well, you know, where's your concealed? Okay, you don't have a concealed, but you were carrying this on your person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the. I'm sure you're gonna get you'll get in
Fine.
fined or trouble, however that may be,
Right.
however they go about it. Even though you protected yourself, you don't have a license to carry, so you should have had a weapon on you at all. And the concealed carry, not only with handguns, you can carry a fucking sword on you as long as it's concealed. It's any weapon, like brass knuckles,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
sword,
like
So-
a taser. Or something.
taser.
So it
Okay.
allows you to pick up more than just.
as long
That's-
as it's not
that's
like an
facts.
illegal weapon, like I'm
Right.
assuming.
Right. But like, I feel like that's smart, right? Like, because it covers not only just
handguns.
like handguns. Like
Yeah, if you're not comfortable, like I know people that do not like firearms, are not comfortable with it, they're
Right.
not against it, they're not comfortable with it. You can still carry a taser on you.
right.
It's considered a weapon.
A weapon,
Or
right?
a knife that's bigger than the legal limit, which I'm assuming is your palm.
Yep.
So you can carry like a Rambo knife on you, as long as it's concealed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You should be fine.
You should be fine. And me, like, my concern when I heard this, like, popping off all over the news and shit, because, you know, they like to sensationalize shit. I was like, all right, let me, like, try to understand what's happening right here. So, because I know when it comes to writing law or politics, look at the wordplay. Look at how they use certain words. Because the way I interpreted this was, it's essentially null and voiding the concealed weapons law,
The license.
the license,
Yeah.
you know, and it's signing in a more constitutional carry. So, under the concealed carry law, it's even in the name, it's concealed.
Mhm.
Now, if you wipe that off the board, does that open the door for open carry?
Well, there's other states that are open carry.
Open
too.
carry,
like Texas, I believe you can open carry.
Texas seems to be
you
coming
need-
up a lot.
But you need a permit, though, right?
I believe so.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm not
Yeah,
100% sure. I don't want to speak on it.
Let's pull that up.
But I know that Texas, I believe, if not the whole state.
Yeah. So going back to Florida while I'm looking this up, like for me, so generally to carry a handgun in public in Texas without a license to carry, a person must be at least 21 years old, not have prior felonies described in the Texas Penal Code, not have a recent conviction. That just falls into like background checks and stuff like that. I wanted to know like specifically. Oh wow, they got long guns. Okay. Articles, laws on open and concealed carry. All right. Carrying or displaying. Although Texas still issues licenses to carry a handgun, you no longer need a permit to carry a handgun in most places.
Oh wow.
Unless you are younger than 21 or can't legally have a gun. However, it's still a crime in Texas to display a handgun on purpose in a public space in another person's plain view, unless the gun is holstered.
But anybody can interpret it as that. So what does that mean?
What qualifies as a holster? Like, do we have like specifics on holsters? Like, what if I just have it in my belt or my back pocket? You know what I'm saying? Or if it's in my jacket, you know, shit like that. It's also illegal to carry a handgun under the following circumstances: if you are convicted, so if you're being convicted, legally prohibited from possessing, if you're intoxicated and aren't on your property in your car or boat, or directly en route to either or. Okay, where guns are restricted. So it's not really giving me like... Yeah, so all of this can be prevented through background checks.
Yeah.
But that's why I said as a gun holder, I wanted to get your perspective on what do you think about that, because do you think it's...
Because I feel like... Before you ask your question, because I feel like having a concealed carry is kind of like that buffer that goes into the background check. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, because if they have a database for concealed carry, that makes law enforcement's job easier. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they have my fingerprints on it.
Right. You know, because when you go get a permit, they fingerprint you. They have all your information. So, like, if you wipe that away, like, aren't you making law enforcement's job harder? And they already got a hard job because not only do you have to deal with mentally ill people, you got to deal with what you call it, like you have to deal with people who at times
that don't like the law.
That don't like the law.
Yeah,
exactly.
what do they call those? The ones that don't abide by the
sovereign citizens.
Sovereign citizens. Yeah.
Sovereign citizens.
So
right. The only laws they abide by is the Constitution. I think it's like the first 5 amendments or something like that. It gets wild, man. It gets wild, and it's like when I look at shit like that, I start to realize, man, it's a big ass fucking country, bro.
But for that is like I went and you can go to a lot of places to get your test, and so I went and got my the test that you take. Certain places, all the person did was tell me the laws where I can and cannot carry. Obviously, federal buildings like Suncoast, can't go into schools.
Yeah.
Places where it's posted no firearms permitted. You can't take it in there if you own a company and you post it on your thing says no firearms allowed. You're not allowed to, even if you I have a concealed carry. They own the business.
They're
they
a
don't
private citizen themselves. That's facts.
So they told me all that, and then okay, well, your course is complete. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's really?
Yeah. I'm like, all right, well, and then they go to the shooting course. I fired 1 round into a target, and it was a .22 caliber. So fired it 1 time into the target, and that's
good
it.
To go.
But that's covered under the, like he's saying, wordplay. I took a shooting course.
Right. Technically, yeah.
I took a shooting course. It didn't go into detail where, all right, well, you got to have a certain amount of hours in this course, or you got to complete this course, this, loading, firing, handling, this and that. And I've seen some, when I was even there at the place, I've seen like people. I'm like, they brought them in there, and all right, well, fire this, and they're like, you can tell they never held a gun before.
Wow, that's crazy.
And he's telling them, okay, you get to do this, and it was the easiest, firearm to use. I believe it was a revolver .22 caliber. So those are, they have a safety mechanism where they, even if the hammer's cocked, it won't fire if you drop it or whatever. There's some firearms that don't have safeties. Like Glock has the trigger safety, which is really not a safety. You know what I'm saying? So there's some that you can't manually put on. So there's no test on how to handle it. He's like, pick it up, you shoot the target, and that's it. And then my course was done. I was certified. Damn. So I went down. You schedule an appointment at the tax collectors downtown, where I did downtown. I came in, I got my my picture taken, my fingerprints. You take a little a test that you take down there. It's yes or no, and it's questions. Obviously, it's common sense questions.
Right.
It says, are you a convicted felon?
Yeah.
Are you running from the law? Have you committed any major felonies in the past? It doesn't matter, but it'll tell you in the past week. So stupid shit like that. Like it's oh shit, you got me. Yep, I'm running from the cops.
Yeah. Just robbed the bank.
Nobody's gonna put
just
that.
Robbed the 7-Eleven last Friday. God damn.
And so you answer all that, and then you get fingerprinted. You get your picture taken. You pay the $112 that it is. And then you get your card in the mail. Damn. So, but there are some, like, either, like you said, private, like they will come to you and they take you through a course. Like when I first went to get my concealed, it was back in like 2010 maybe, give or take. I actually went through a course. You know what I'm saying? I went through the class that I took was I think 2 hours or something like that, and you learned different things, obviously where you can carry, where you can't, like certain situations to where does it call for you to use your firearm, does it not, or you see Sally getting beat up over there, and she's getting stomped, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? You have a concealed carry. Are you allowed to do that? Or allowed to stop the person? You know what I'm saying?
So they're
it's,
actually training you.
Right.
yes,
Yeah,
and they're giving you
like,
certain because
when
it was
and
from
when not to shoot.
it was a guy that he was a police officer. He's a SWAT, you know, and he was trained in all this stuff, and that's what he did on the side was give classes for concealed carry. And then you got that type, but then you got the type that I've the second time I just okay, this is where you can and cannot do. Don't carry here, don't carry there.
They just it was lax, gave you the rundown.
That's it. And it's like there was like 7 or 8 people like the time I was there that went and got theirs. You know what I'm saying? So they're handing it out like it's like I joked that it's like if you get I joked if you move to Florida with you know and you go get your license, your Florida issued ID. It might as well come with a concealed carry because they're just giving it out, you know. So
there's no effort. There's literally no effort.
So it's up to the person to get a training course on how to, you know, firearm safety and stuff like that. So if they're doing away,
that's gonna hurt them.
Yeah, it was like the left one, the first picture.
This guy
it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that is easy. That's mad easy, and he couldn't even hold it.
Well, that kind of and two that kind of bleeds into the topic that we're going to go on next, where it's going to be difficult for cops to identify who has and who does not.
Because like even that, like as like yeah, we could have better regulation and stuff, you know, protect people. But like even doing away with something like that, you're getting rid of prevention.
Yeah.
Like that step that can prevent a situation from being escalated.
Well, yeah, because like they always say, verbal words are what cops use.
Yeah, verbal warning.
And after that, it's the taser, and then the third is the last. You know what I'm saying? Last is the.
But now let's say I pull up your info, and it's not on here that you have a concealed carry. How am I gonna prep myself when I see it?
I'm gonna pull out. I'm gonna unclip my gun right.
Like, how am I mentally as a cop? How am I gonna prepare myself?
Yeah.
Not knowing if you do or don't have a gun. And this goes for anybody. It's not even like, okay, this person fits the profile of someone who's likely to have a gun. It could be anybody. Or some crazy old lady that's off her meds. You see what I'm saying? But she prior to this, you know, if it does pass, like you could know, okay, she has.
But the thing now is that right now you have to have a concealed carry to have one, right?
Of course, yeah.
But I know a lot of people personally that have firearms that don't have it concealed. They don't carry it on them, but it's in their vehicle, right? So, you know, either and then it's like how even with that being, you know, the law being like that, you still don't know who's going to be.
Oh, right.
That's true, of course.
Right, for sure.
You know, who's going to have a firearm, who's not.
Because it's like
stuff like that.
Because like the analogy I'm going to use, it's like it's not perfect. Because you know if you're going to break the law, you're going to break the law.
Exactly.
That's the point of breaking the law. You didn't give a damn about it. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to break the law. But it's like, okay, there's a leak in the boat. You know what I'm saying? Instead of patching it up or you know closing that hole, like I just took a hammer and smashed it. You know, so now we're just going to sink faster. We're just and that's essentially what's happening. What I believe is happening here. It's like, okay, yeah, we have these laws, these protections and stuff. They're not perfect, but laxing them or getting rid of all of them, you just kind of
you're opening the floodgates.
Yeah, like it blurs the line even further when it comes to like law enforcement and personal safety. Granted, yes, you can see the effect of, oh man, I don't know who has a gun, so I'm not gonna fuck with them. You know, granted, that's just Florida in general.
There's always gonna be pros and cons.
You know what I'm saying? Florida in general, like, this is what I like about Florida. People don't fuck with people. You just leave.
We're
people
to ourselves,
alone.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You mind your business. You leave people alone. You know what I'm saying? And then of course you got crazy folk. You know, it's Florida. You know what I'm saying? And that comes with it. I respect it. You know. But then,
and I just think either way, just like Jeff was saying, either way there's pros and cons. You do away with it, and you just go with anybody can openly carry. It can create different situations that may not arise if this wasn't around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this, you know, Joe might have came in a Circle K wanting to, you know, rob his place, but Henry has a open carry. You can see obviously it's open carry. He's changed his mind. He's not going to rob this
He's not gonna
Circle
rob the
K
place.
today.
Now let's think of this scenario, right? So let's say you come in, you're about to go into 7-Eleven, and you see Buddy with a gun on the side. You don't know what he's about to do. He could be ready to rob. Like, you're walking in, you don't know if he's gonna rob the place or if he's not.
So what are you gonna do?
So what are you gonna do?
You're gonna pull out your gun.
You know what I'm saying? And then going back to, like, let's say we're in.
But if that situation is now, or is it with open carry?
Like, okay, let's say with now, right? So
But
let's
yeah,
say
right now, as how's the law sits,
Right.
if I go into a 7-Eleven and Buddy has a firearm out, yeah,
You
I'm
know,
definitely reaching for mine, or calling 911, whatever
Right.
the case may
But
be.
you see what I'm saying? Like, you're on edge. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you're analyzing the situation. But it's like, going back to what you said earlier, not everyone is getting that training.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I can see where even if it's an open carry law or open carry state, and you go in there, you're gonna, no matter if you're not comfortable with firearms, you're gonna be on edge regardless. Because guy could been a retired cop, you don't know.
You don't
It's
know.
an open carry state now, so you go in and he has a gun. You can visually see. There's people that get on edge about it because they
feel-
don't know.
Yeah, they feel off.
You know, if I might, bump him by accident, he might get all pissed off and pull his gun and shoot me.
Start
Exactly.
unload. Yeah.
But if you
And
have
those
to
are
have
one of
that
the examples.
mentality now, because that can still happen now. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah,
There's
for
people
sure.
that carry on them that are felons that aren't supposed to have a firearm. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's, but I definitely see where if you go in and it's an open carry state and they see a couple people, with their guns on their hip, it's like, if you're not comfortable with firearms, I can tell
You
where
gonna
it's going to
feel
be
some
like
type of way. Yeah, you're gonna be on edge
Yeah.
a little bit. And two things. It's like, even with the training, like where we spoke on earlier, where it was just like, in what scenario should you use your firearm?
Mhm.
Now, if we're getting rid of concealed carry permits,
You're getting rid of the training.
you're getting rid of the
or
training.
the capable,
Yeah, the
or
capability.
want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Whether it's just shoot one round. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least you shot one round. You know how the gun feels. You know what the recoil feels in your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to.
Yeah, but you shot a 22 that my daughter shoots with one hand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna shoot the gun that I carry. It has a lot more kick to it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
for
So it's
sure.
like, if you're not experienced on different firearms,
You know what I'm saying?
you're not gonna know how. People seem like, oh well, because you can, no matter what caliber it is, you can do damage.
You can do-
you
for
can kill
sure.
somebody with a 22.
Sure.
But it's, if you're not used to the firing that firearm, because I've seen there was a lady at the time where I go to the range and everything, that she was looking to buy a firearm. She said, I like this one. It was a compact 45. I don't know. I forget. I don't think it was a Glock, but it was another one. But it was compact, so it was the size of my hand, probably a little smaller, and it was a 45. So it was gonna be a kick. She'd never fired a gun before. So it's like,
Okay.
so starting out with that, never firing, and that was going to be her concealed carry.
Okay.
So never firing it before.
And the gun
and
she
then
trained
say,
with
let's say
wasn't
they get rid of they make it an open carry. You can, as long as you're not a felon, whatever, you can carry the gun openly, whatever. Okay, cool. If she does that and a situation arises to where she has to use it, never fired that gun before, and she goes to shoot, she can kill somebody
Yes.
next to an innocent civilian.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they're not thinking about penetration,
Or what kind of bullets
what
you're
kind of
using.
bullets you're using. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where, like, me, I'm not, bro, you want to own a gun, you want to blah blah blah. It's just like, what about the folks who don't got that common sense?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm worried. Those are the people that's gonna be accidentally killing people.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the people who get themselves in a situation where it's like, they shoot the gun and it backfires on them, or it kicks back and they lose the gun, and now they're in some like crazy situation. But another aspect of getting rid of this law, that not even just owning a gun, this is essentially wiping out like a percentage of Well, no, because they could still do it individually,
Mhm.
like privately, but like
Yeah.
whole businesses that offer that training, you're cutting that out.
Mm.
You're cutting that source of income from them.
Yeah,
Or
because you can offer it, but nobody's gonna want to.
No
take
one's
it.
gonna want to.
Some people will,
Right,
but
course.
it's not gonna be. Obviously, you're not gonna get as much business if you can just say, "Oh, well, if you're 21 and over and you're not a felon, you can go ahead and open carry a gun."
Right.
Who's gonna want to? Okay, I'm gonna go spend $120 on this gun course. No, why? I can just carry it.
I can
Yeah.
Because there's some people that think something may never happen, to where I just have it to feel safer. Just like we have fire extinguishers. Our houses are on fire every day, but we have
Exactly.
one.
We have
Smoke
one, that's
detectors.
facts, yeah.
So, but it's the people that don't think that the situation is going to happen, so they're not going to go out and go the extra mile to get the proper training, or at least do. I'm not talking to go do police training and SWAT team or military shit.
None of that, right.
Go to the range, once a week, fire your firearm and get used to the recoil, get used to the aiming or how it feels, and to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you know how to handle it safely and shit like that. But some people aren't going to take the initiative. They'll just be, oh, well, I'm not, I'm good. I can just carry it.
I can just carry it. Damn.
But I'm telling you, the test now isn't making anything better either. So it's
no, I doubt it.
You know what I'm saying?
Not
So
at
it's
all.
like
Not at all.
I agree with how it is now, to where you gotta, take a course.
Quote unquote.
I think it's a better. I think you need to
Quote,
take a better course. You gotta fire your weapon, fire at a target, whatever. Do I think I think it needs to be more detailed. There's a lot of people that are not going to agree with me. They're like, oh well, and this is just my opinion.
Right.
I'm totally in favor of carrying a firearm, protecting yourself, but
I'm
why don't you do
I'm
it
not talking about,
safely?
like, taking guns away.
Yeah, but you don't want to accidentally. And I agree with both of you guys, but you don't want to accidentally shoot somebody that you care about. Shoot somebody that just happened to be in the way because you chose to not learn the proper way of how to handle.
Educate yourself
Yeah,
on
exactly.
how to, like, it's like driving a car. Anything that can cause bodily harm. Like, even with skydiving, you ain't killing nobody but yourself if you fuck up skydiving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they require you to do
Multiple dives
and scuba diving.
and
they
scuba
do, yeah.
diving too. You see what I'm saying? You're the only person at risk when you're doing those things, and they're more stringent, even to get a license too.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
Well, look at the course you got to take to get a motorcycle license.
Oh yeah, it's crazy because
It's not just a 2-hour course. You know what I'm saying?
because you're essentially a meat sack on a bike.
yeah, you're a torpedo. You're a
Yeah.
human torpedo. That's what it is. And the only person who's most at risk is you. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when it's just common sense legislation. Like, I just wish we could kind of get into that. And
And of course, you're gonna have the people who agree with it and the people who disagree with it. But that's why we kind of want to understand. Why,
right,
why
like,
do-
I wanted to break it down, like, really understand, like, the ins and outs.
But there was a situation that I read about. There was a person in a grocery store. They were reaching for something on the top shelf. They had a concealed carry. Their shirt lifted up, and you can see the
holster.
The butt.
butt of the gun, the handle, whatever. And a lady freaked out, called 911. Next thing you know, and the dude's going about his day. Next thing you know, there's cops running into the grocery store, guns drawn, everything. Because it was reported that there's a man with a gun in the store.
That's all that was said.
That's all it was said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be concealed.
Right.
So, and it wasn't purposely, shown. It was accidental, but it's still, the lady said, oh, there's a guy with a gun in the store, and cops came, whatever. Now, if it was, an open carry state, would that have happened? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because there'd be a lot of people
Who have that understanding.
yeah,
right.
that it's an open carry state. There's going to be
Right.
more than just this person that has a gun on their hip and it's visible. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
facts.
that's the same situation that I run into. See, I got to make sure I got longer shirts. I'm a bigger person. So if I reach for something, I know my gun's going to show. So I got to be conscious of that and stuff like that. I don't want to get, cops called on me and shit. Oh, well, there's a guy, shopping at, a grocery store and, he has a gun,
Yeah, and
because that's all they say.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're not going to go into detail. Oh, yeah, he's shopping with his kids, and I've seen his gun on his hip. No, they're not gonna say that.
They ain't gonna say
they're
that.
not
They're terrified. They're like, oh
They're
shit.
gonna give you a
Like,
description and say a man
Yeah.
has a gun in the grocery
That's
store.
sketch,
And that's all it's
man.
gonna be.
And
They better hope it's not Jeff. You know.
Because I'm going down.
bruh, speaking of man with a gun in the grocery store. So the Buffalo, New York shit that popped off, was that a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
Damn. That's crazy.
And you know what's crazy too? Because, like, I'm not going to say it hits home, but, like, it reminds me of that training video I did
Mm-hmm.
when I used to work for the company. It was that training video that
Yeah,
we did.
I mean, you can say
The active shooter training
Oh yeah,
video.
the actors. Yeah, yeah.
Yo, man.
Was it a fight if you
Now, I didn't
Run if you can or something.
run if you must,
run if you must.
hide if you can, fight to survive or something.
Fight to
Yeah.
survive.
Something like that.
That's trip.
The fact that we had to start doing that. Well, it was crazy too because when I don't know about you, but when I was in high school, we had bomb drills.
Yeah, the
Bro,
big,
we're
the
not.
big,
We're not. We're about the same age.
Well,
bro.
that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
You're acting like I'm like, yeah, I went to school back in '68. I don't know if y'all had that.
Well, I don't know in your high school, but in our high
Yes,
school we had
it.
All right, so it was bomb threats back in our high school, and of course,
And they showed us what to use. We had special door stoppers
Yeah.
in the classroom to put on the instant. When you close the door, you put it in.
and it'll jam it.
Yeah, and you can't open it no matter what.
Yeah, but now it's bomb drills and
Not even bomb, bro.
gun
It's
drills.
straight gun drills.
Gun drills. Okay.
It's straight. Ain't no one trying to bomb nothing. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Bombs. No, but like
But it sucks that we have to have
sucks.
videos and
Yeah.
have kids go,
That
this is what's going to
sucks,
happen, or this is
bro.
what can happen.
and it's happening too much, bro.
Well, because one of the Frito-Lay vendors, Jordan, he was literally saying it's so crazy how my daughter has to have gun drills, and she's only in elementary school.
Yeah, she
I'm like,
in grade
damn.
school.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking.
It was
insane.
like, what was it? The thing that really kind of opened my eyes, where it was like nobody's off limits, no matter where you are, was the Sandy Hook.
Yes.
When the bro walked into that elementary school, this is
I don't even want to touch on that subject.
Bruh.
Well, even today.
Because the Sandy Hook, I mean, that's a whole nother agenda that was pushed. There was a lot of details on that scenario, which, I don't even want to speak about it because there's gonna be a lot of people that are against my opinions about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It sucks. It sucks of what happened. Anything like that is a tragic.
that's tragic.
Well, even what happened today.
Yeah, even what happened.
But I think there's certain things happened to push an agenda.
Oh.
Back when that happened. You know
Of
what I'm
course.
saying?
It's throughout American history, man.
Yep. There's
Throughout
always.
American history, there's
But you're always gonna have the
Yeah.
people that are gonna be like,
Right.
no.
you know what I'm
that's
saying,
not
and
it.
those who don't really educate themselves are just
They
just-
eat information and
yeah,
regurgitate
they just
it.
move with the idea that they're pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like me, like I got internet brain. I'm always like, all right, I'm always trying to understand how people think. You see what I'm saying? And not to just be like, oh well, that's wrong, that's right. It's like, no, that's just another understanding of their reality. This is what they're seeing, and there's truth to people's realities. You see what I'm saying? Like, we may not agree on everything, but like, if we're seeing the same thing, that's your truth, that's my truth.
Now, what some people are going to get from these the shootings, these recent shootings, I'm sure is going to be out. The agenda is going to be pushed about
For
making
sure.
tighter gun laws, stricter
Get
gun
rid of
laws.
guns.
Well, they have the
Yeah,
same
right.
conversation,
Right.
But
It's-
nothing
it-
ever
it-
happens.
it's the same.
But
conversation.
what will that get? That guy that committed both of them. What were they law-abiding citizens?
No, because like I said earlier, if you're gonna break the law, you're gonna break the law.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the law is.
You know,
what
and
I'm
that's
saying?
for anything. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
right.
making, you want to make tighter and stricter drug laws. Like you get caught with certain things, they're gonna slam the book at you.
Bruh.
Like
There's still
fentanyl.
dope boys out there.
Yeah, bro. Now they don't even do three. It used to be 3 strikes like in the West Coast, but now it's like, bro, Rico. They'll just slap you with Rico.
Yep.
They'll just slap you.
But
with Rico.
does that stop people
Oh, hell
from
no.
selling dope? Nope.
Hell no.
No, it's always going to continue.
But going back to the Buffalo shooting,
Buffalo shooting.
the guy who committed that, the laws that were in place to prevent him from
Yes.
getting a gun.
Because it's a strict. Is it strict,
Oh,
right?
it's
It's New
dumb as
York.
strict. It's New
Yeah,
York.
it's New York.
The laws that were there stopped him from getting a gun 5 times. Because in his...
But how do you end up getting it?
Uh,
Does it say?
let me see. I believe it's investigation. Okay, head of FBI told reporters they uncovered information. He's separate investigation connected.
Unless he had somebody else buy it for him.
Yeah, because I know it was written in his manifesto. Because he had 180-page manifesto,
Ridiculous.
and this was someone who was well educated. This wasn't like no fucking Yosemite Sam type bullshit. Like, he was educated. Bro was in college, and he
What was I believe that was because of
free PDF.
the reason he did it was because it was the most
I thought they said it was racially motivated.
yeah, because it was it was like he drove 3 hours to
Yeah, he drove.
200 miles,
Yeah, he drove
bro.
3.5 hours to
because that was the closest supermarket that had
black people.
well, yeah, I was gonna say another like a smarter word, but yes, black people.
Minorities.
People of color, I'm assuming.
Negroes.
Yeah.
But it had because I guess nowhere around where he lived had
Oh,
a
they
lot of
really
that.
have a whole PDF.
PDF of
That's
his manifesto.
crazy, bro. See, the internet's
You gotta love
crazy,
the
man.
internet. They even want you to download it.
Well, that's dumb
Crazy.
because that's just giving him what he wants.
Yeah, that's pushing
His agenda.
idea,
Yeah.
his agenda. That's crazy to me, bro.
So guess what? Guess what that means? There's gonna be somebody that's fucked up that's gonna get that.
Oh yeah, and then
And
they're
I'll
gonna.
finish what you started, kind of shit. Because there's people out there, I guarantee it. They're looking
The-
at that.
the
Oh, this is
fucking
where he.
copycats and
This is where
shit.
he fucked up. This is where he should
This
have
is
done
what-
this,
yeah.
this, and that. There's people out there like that.
Yeah,
That's why
he-
they should never post shit like if you recover a manifesto from a fucking a whack job like that, why even post it? You can let the people know. Yeah, we've recovered this. We're not gonna release it. Why release it? What's the importance of releasing that?
That's crazy.
Exactly.
What does that stop?
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, you can't pull up the manifesto without downloading it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
And then
we're
you
not
download
gonna-
it, and then the SWAT team comes to
Yeah,
your
I'm not
house.
downloading
I think it's
that
a trap.
shit. Yo, it's a fucking trap. Honeypot, boy.
This is how
What
we.
the
This is
fuck?
how we gonna stop it.
They're gonna be like, "Hey Jeff, aren't you black, sir? You're
Brother.
gonna shoot your own people now."
But so, like, I wish I knew everything, but like, he was just explaining all the hurdles he had to go through.
But like you said, New York is a very, very strict state when it comes to firearms.
But he was
Even-
still able to
and he
get
was
it.
still able to, and then of course he was pushing the idea of the great replacement.
like you can. I believe in New York City, in an actual city, you can have a concealed carry, but it's super hard to get. And I've heard that it's not even worth having because of how hard it is to get in the city. So you don't even, it's super strict. And if you have, if you can get a firearm, obviously you can get a firearm anywhere. You go down the street, so and so can get it for you, scratched off, whatever.
Facts,
You
yeah.
can get it no matter how strict the gun laws.
And
is.
even
That's what
now-
I'm saying. It's like with all this shooting, and they're gonna push the stricter or tighter gun laws. But it's like you can make them as tight as you want. But if you want to get a gun, you can get a
It's
gun.
not gonna stop the crazy folk. Yeah, it's not gonna stop the crazy folk. But like,
So what did you call that? What you said he was doing? The great replacement?
yeah, it was multiple things, man. He went through a whole list, but like the one that.
But what is the great replacement?
So
for
yeah,
our audiences that don't know.
Let me wiki that shit because I don't, bro. This is all new to me.
That's what I'm saying. Well, and it's not like we're pretending it doesn't exist. It's just it doesn't happen.
Like
to
I
us.
said, it's a big country, man. Like I didn't even know about the what was it LDS and
Yeah.
sundown. Like I don't know a lot about these ideas.
And I'm not speaking bad on anybody that's a Mormon or follows that. So don't be blowing this shit up.
No, you good, bro. You good, brother.
So certain people are extremists, some people are not.
Yep. And they believe what they believe, and it's like, wow, the great replacement.
Let's do wiki. I can trust wiki.
Really? Can you?
I don't know. Well, back in high school, they're like, no, don't use Wikipedia. But shit, Wikipedia on up to date, bro. Known as replacement theory. The original theory states that the complicity, cooperation of replacist elites, white European populations are being demographically and culturally replaced with non-white people, especially from Muslim majority. Yeah, you'll see a lot of this in Europe. It comes from France and shit. Like, this is why, like, I'm just hearing about this in the U.S. because you remember the whole. That big migration from Syria, the Syria migration.
Yeah.
That's where most of this really popped off. Majority Muslim countries through mass migration, demographic growth, and drop in the birth rate of white Europeans. Mainstream scholars have dismissed these claims, rooted as in an exaggerated reading of immigration status. I need an example. Concept. Okay. So the replacement theory is a form of psychological. No, bro. No. Popularity. Camus. Political influence. Europe, France. So it started in France, in Belgium, stuff like that. What is the Great Replacement Theory? And how is it tied? Turn on the sign, Jeff.
No, the sun's on.
Signs on. Okay. So, all right. So, in short, Great Replacement is a conspiracy theory that the states that non-white individuals are being brought into the United States and other Western countries to replace white voters to achieve a political agenda. It is often touted by anti-immigration groups, white supremacists, and others, according to the National Immigration. White supremacists are. Well, here's the thing too, because like. The guy if I remember correctly, in his manifesto, he said he wasn't like a racist or a white supremacist. He essentially changed his mind when he went on 4chan. That sound fake, bro. Like the whole background in his manifesto, like it hits all the bullet points of like what they say in the news and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like it just seemed too like. I don't want to say manufactured because this is real people. This is real lives,
and that's one of the things that
right
on the Sandy Hook issue. That's
right.
People are gonna get in their feelings about
right.
it. Don't get me wrong; it's tragic that this shit happened.
That's sad, and it shouldn't be happening, right?
But unfortunately, it's known to do extreme things to push an agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And get
of course, yeah, and then to push to bring up the one of our next points of today's shooting.
Right, yeah.
Where
he doesn't fit that,
mm-hmm.
that
typical
that frame that they're trying to sell you.
Exactly.
Because like after this happened,
the mentally ill white,
and that's what when I first got here, I'm like, yo, he's probably white because I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, well, it literally just happened
right.
when you showed up. So yeah,
because like even with you, it's like that's the echo chamber in the country. Like okay, this is the main threat. To society, and that's what they ran with, and then this shit pops off, and it's like they're trying to figure it out. They're like, oh, is this another whatchamacallit, racial terrorism? I forgot what it's called, like extremist terrorism or some shit like that. And the guy didn't fit the description at all of what you thought it would be. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, what was it? How old was he? He was 18?
He was 18 years old. He graduated from, not graduated, he went to that Robb Elementary School in Texas. But he apparently, he allegedly killed his grandma and then went to the school and killed 14 children and
one teacher.
Yeah, and as of right now, I mean, he's dead because, of course, the cops.
They lit him up.
Yeah, they lit him up, but they don't know why. What was his motivation for it? But like you said, it didn't fit the criteria.
Exactly.
Because he was Spanish instead of white, which they usually say the mentally ill, 18 to 25 young white man went into a school or went into this place, and then it was racially motivated and all that stuff like that. But this is off. This is different. So it's like, what was the purpose of it?
What was the purpose? What's the motive? You know what I'm saying? So,
but and of course it's going to be the gun laws in Texas.
Yep.
That's what
is
they're
the
gonna go
issue.
to,
It
yeah.
was easy, accessible to get a firearm. So there's going to be those, and there's people that just fucked up people that are going to do shit. No matter how tight your laws are, there's going to be people that if they're going to do something, unfortunately, they're going to do
They're
it.
gonna fucking do it.
No matter
That's
how much
facts.
security you have in a school,
Someone's gonna get through the cracks. Yeah.
something's going to happen.
Yep. And then on top of that, like, I think at one point he even mentioned 3D printing. 3D printing, like
3D printing guns, yeah.
Yeah, he got it. So he makeshifted. It was like a regular long rifle, and he pretty much like broke it down and then 3D printed parts and like I don't know the right words. He just manufactured
The pieces of the gun just to
gun.
put it together.
Yeah, and then he 3D printed a bump stock, which was already, like they banned the selling and owning, or is it
Of
just
bump
selling?
stocks.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can't own them. I mean,
People are gonna own
yeah,
it regardless.
I don't
if
think
they
you can
want
buy
to.
it.
Oh, so you can't buy it, right? So that's one of the issues he listed. Those certain things he wasn't able to purchase. His age prohibited him from purchasing. But this guy had no like previous mental history
And that's the
shit like
thing.
that.
It's like,
And
what
it's
else
like-
can you do?
What else can you do? You see what I'm saying? Like, if we can't stop mass shootings, you see what I'm saying? Like, we're failing somewhere.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, as a society, regardless of whether you think we should be able to own certain types of guns or have certain types of laws, we have to agree that we're failing somewhere as a society that this keeps happening.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you're going to have to, at some point, they would have to do a deeper dive on that kid's, for example, growing up,
His background.
his background, mom, dad, father figure in his life, or he has a mom, whatever the case may be, because obviously it's rooted in that.
Because, like, here's what ends up happening, right? Because either A, you got to give up your privacy. And no one wants to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're halfway there.
Like, if
Yeah.
we wait till after a tragedy happens and then we're like, okay, this is why he did it. How can we prevent it? Invade people's privacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's why you don't hear bomb drills anymore.
Yeah, that's
As
true.
much
Now
like
you
that.
hear gun drills.
You hear gun drills. Because, like, after so many bombings, it's like, okay, here are, one, what was it? The Patriot Act. They were able to tap your phones for no reason, just
Just
you
to
know,
listen.
Yeah, just to listen, to protect you from terrorism.
That was after
bomb-
9/11, right?
After 9/11.
Yep.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like we're at a fork in the road. It's like, do you want to give up your privacy so we can have guns?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Or do you want to wait till something happens and then, it's a case-by-case basis?
But the reaction is always delayed.
The
it's-
reaction's always the same. Nothing has changed with the reaction.
No, it's always too
The
late.
and
Certain people are starting to do it, starting to film it on Snapchat, on
yeah,
That
on
dumbass.
Instagram.
That's
on
crazy.
all that
Well,
stuff.
here's the thing,
Even
too.
the thing the shooting that happened in New Zealand, he showed you.
that was crazy.
Yeah, but
you
that's
know
what I'm
was
saying.
so like, because at the time, like I said, I got internet brain. At the time when I saw that video, there was a disconnect because I'm so used to playing Call of Duty all the time that I'm seeing this first person, and it looked like he was playing like fucking Doom, like he was playing a first person shooter, and then in my mind, like there's that disconnect, like
This is real.
this is real life,
Mhm.
and this guy's live streaming this.
There was a couple other ones like that I've listened to. There was a guy that did that. I think he went to his ex-girlfriend's job or whatever, but he was on YouTube or something. It was back in the, I don't know how many years ago, but he filmed it on like in a first person mode. He went to and shot this person, that person, his ex-girlfriend's job or his old employment or whatever the kid. I forgot. It was been a minute since I listened to it, but I think he went to his ex-girlfriend's job to shoot her, or he went to his place of employment. They fired him or whatever the case may be, but he had like a GoPro and he was recording it.
Damn.
And then he ended up it wasn't live stream because that was before the live
Like
stream.
all that shit.
Yeah.
So he ended up either getting away or having time to upload it Yeah, and it's like, so it's crazy. These people, and it was in a, I believe it was in a state that had strict gun laws. So it's like, you're gonna have the crazies no matter how tight your gun laws are.
Yeah,
So like, do you think that falls into the category of like how like radicalization, like how people get radicalized? Like prime example, you have this internet term called like a doomer, where they're just like it's a lifestyle they live where it's like they're online all the time.
They're depressed.
They're depressed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They're it's oversaturation of information and beliefs and ideas because like the fact that we saw some shit happen in New Zealand, you see what I'm saying? Someone here or in South America could resonate with that.
Exactly.
It's just shit like that travels so fast.
But how do you stop all that? You're gonna be like what, North Korea?
That's what I'm saying. Privacy. That's
You,
where
you can't do anything over
you
there.
can't do anything over there. You see what I'm saying? So it's like
You gotta, if there's a time to march with, and there's at a certain age you have to go in the military.
right.
There's no, I'm not gonna do that. No, it's when you get to this age, you're doing 4 years or whatever.
Or
You
hard
can't
labor
own.
for
Obviously, you
life.
can't own any weapons.
Mhm.
And I don't want to. It's just that's the way.
And you get to that police state.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's the only way that you can, like, stop anything like that from happening. And still things happen there because obviously there's a market for everything.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like is that the case? Is that we're gonna have to the route we have to go
And
to
that's-
stop everything?
And that's what's scary. Because it's like no one's going to allow that. That's
Mhm.
what the Second Amendment is here for. You know what I'm saying?
But then there's people that we brainstorm like we're doing now, and then there's people that they're extremists that to where you just take guns away, it'll stop everything.
It'll stop it. No.
It won't.
It won't.
Like all
But
you
there's
hear
other
is
ones
the
that-
extremes on both
And
sides.
then
right.
the other side is you need to have everybody have a firearm. That will stop. That will
yeah,
stop people.
teacher need to have fun. Pastor need to have a firearm.
Everybody need to have a firearm.
Everyone
Where
need to
does
have
it stop?
firearm.
That's the
Like,
question, though.
So
Where-
that's the extreme on both sides. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
It's a
with that
double-edged
teacher
sword.
having a firearm, would that stop those kids from getting killed?
Getting killed.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But can you sit there and be like, well, we have to have all the teachers have a firearm in order to protect our kids at school? And that's a whole nother issue that we're bringing in. Is like, damn, all our schools are unsafe like that. Like,
That's what I'm saying. And
That's
then
crazy.
one, that's gonna cost more money.
exactly.
Like that's what we understand. Like okay, you have. Like,
And you already don't want to pay teachers money
Right,
anyway in
right.
Florida. So it's like
that's what I'm saying. That's why I always say, like, bro, pick a struggle. Do you want to spend more money opening all these new departments for teacher training, firearm security, mental evaluations for teachers to own guns and stuff like that? Resource officers are going to be loaded into schools with resource officers. You got to pay those people.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Whatchamacallit? Do you want to give up your privacy? You know what I'm saying? Do you want stricter gun laws? Like,
You gotta pick and
there
choose.
has to be.
but you can't have every single thing and then it's like you ended up your kids are gonna have to go to like a prison like school because
Yeah.
it has barbed wire, locked gates, on
See-through
guards,
backpacks.
see-through backpacks, metal detectors, getting patted down. There's all the side exits are chained, like or ran like in the prison where one person controls the locks, unlocks certain doors, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Have
Do
like
we
a
want to send our kids
security
there?
room, right?
But guess what? That solves a lot. That solves people from being able to get in there
That's
and
right.
kill everybody or commit crimes like that. But at the same time, it's like, all right, well, we succeeded at stopping this. You're not going to get in this school
Right.
with a firearm. It's
This
going
is
to
a
be
fort.
impossible.
Right. It's a.
You know what I'm
fort.
saying? Unless you obviously, and then it's going to go into, all right, well, there can be a bad apple in the security, and this.
It gets
you
very
know,
complicated.
It gets like that, but
it-
then it's like you got the people like, oh well, I don't want my kid going to like unless they're
a
going to
prison
jail,
school.
prison
Yeah,
school.
that's taking away their rights and all that.
But then it's like, all right, well, how do you can't have everything? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Obviously we want our kids to be able to go to school and not have to worry about a psycho going in there and blasting everybody.
That's crazy.
But at the same time, it's like, all right, well, if we up security, and we have metal detectors. Oh, whoa. My kids are in elementary school and shouldn't have to go through metal detectors to get patted down and have see-through backpacks.
Damn.
Okay, or what's
What
your
do you- what's your solution?
What's your
What's your
solution?
solution?
Right. You see what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
a-
Well,
you
we
need-
gotta just make it safe, or just take the guns away.
I mean, that's what we've been saying this entire time,
for
and nothing has
back-
changed.
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
15
Like you
years
said,
now.
nothing
We've
has
been saying
changed.
the same things. You know what I'm saying? It was like, right before I graduated back in 2013, it got to the point where you had to have see-through backpacks, and we couldn't use lockers. All the lockers were zip tied. You couldn't put anything in your lockers before they ended up removing.
That's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
That didn't happen with us.
All
Hell
the
no.
lockers were zip tied. When
Wow.
you came into the
What school was that?
Immokalee High School.
It
Oh, well,
could-
that explains
And
a
then,
lot. I'm kidding. Anybody out there, I'm sorry.
and they had this big old plastic bin in the corner or on the side. And when you walked in, you got all those supplies that you needed, put it at your desk in the basket under the seat.
That's
Even
crazy.
the desk didn't have cubbies anymore. The desk used to have cubbies. Got rid of all the cubbies.
Was that when all the shooting started happening?
Mhm. That's
Okay.
when everything
Why do you
started.
Why do you think that school was like Immokalee was like that, but Lehigh Senior? Well, I don't think was like that. I haven't been in Lehigh.
No.
Eastleigh County. was
Riverdale. I
like-
went to Riverdale.
I went to Eastleigh County. And Eastleigh County wasn't like that. either.
It wasn't like that in Riverdale. Like when I went, we had lockers.
We had to leave
could-
our backpacks in the lockers, but that was about it. For
I don't
us.
even think we had to leave our backpacks in the locker.
For us, we.
I think it was like an overcorrection. Like
they're freaking
But
the fuck out.
what I'm asking is it just because based on where Immokalee is
right, like
and the people
right.
and the students that went there
Uh,
compared to Eastleigh.
I could say that it was probably mostly based off the demographic, but like the entire time I was there, the only times we really had lockdown, we had two lockdowns when there was a robbery and then the guy ran onto the campus and they had to do all the lockdowns, and then every other time was like a bear was on campus, so they had to do lockdowns. But I specifically remember that transition because it only happened my senior year. It only happened my senior year when like the new freshman kids were coming in.
See, when I was in high school, the only thing that Immokalee was known for was being and a good football team.
Football team.
As-
Yep.
Or B,
boy.
having 20, 30-year-olds playing on the
Playing
football
on the
team.
football-
So you remember that?
You remember that? Boy?
That's what Immokalee was
remember
known
that,
for.
yeah.
That, A, they had a good team, and B, whether they were illegal age to be on that football team was in question.
I think that really popped off after what was it? The Haiti earthquake.
Yeah.
Where we got a lot of immigrants coming in, and like they were just fast tracking everyone's like visas and papers and shit like that. So I remember I had a kid in like French class, bro was like, I'm like,
Bearded up.
I'm like, ain't no way you 17.
got wrinkles
bro.
under his
Get outta
eyes.
here. I was like, ain't no way you 17. Man was talking about paying taxes and bills and shit with his other friends, and I'm like, ain't no way, because he was speaking in Creole, but he didn't know I was Haitian. So like, I'm just like peeping what he's talking. Bro's talking about paying taxes and I got to send money back to the kids and shit. I'm like, yo,
To the kids. How old you?
I'm like, ain't no
39?
way, bro.
That's when Immokalee was known.
Oh yeah, bro, Immokalee was on some other shit back in the day. Absolutely, Immokalee, because up until I came in, Immokalee was an F school for like 30
Because
years.
the principal was all about fun instead
he
of
wasn't trying to
actually
teach
getting the
nobody.
job done. 'Cause
They
if-
didn't really have like legit staff who cared to teach about the kids.
No, they didn't.
It wasn't until I came in like freshman year,
New principal.
we had a new principal, which ended up getting fired because it was a hit and run. She ran over someone coming into the school and then
Wow,
just
and
dipped.
dipped. like they don't know where you work, where you live. It's on record, bro.
That's
Like,
crazy.
Yeah, just ran over some person and
Jesus
just
Christ.
dipped. Didn't even show up for school that day, and they put an APB on her ass. Boy, that shit was crazy. But like at that time, like I just felt like they just kind of saw what was happening because that's when my senior year. That's when they started bringing in tablets. They started letting people use their phones and shit like in school. So like a lot of the kids and a lot of the parents started talking about shootings and shit.
Damn, that's crazy.
And that was before they did like the whole, whatchamacallit, the gang sweep where they came in and like cleared out
Yeah.
all the gang activity and shit. That was because Immokalee was nuts. Like 90s, early 2000s, Immokalee was nuts.
Oh yeah.
Bro.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy. But up until then, like we really didn't have a issue with security until the guy ran on campus with the gun and he was hiding in one of the buildings. Because the way Immokalee is, it's not, the school isn't indoors. It's like different buildings, but mostly everyone is outside.
Outside, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's easy to get on the campus and be on the campus and not necessarily be in the classrooms. Yeah. And he got on the campus. He tried to blend in with the kids and stuff like that. Yeah, that shit was wild. So they started, every time we came into the classroom, had to get all your supplies and put your backpack in a bin. And if you wanted to get something from your backpack, you had to ask the teacher, and then they let you go. Yeah, that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy.
So, yeah. Any final thoughts, Jeff, on the whole...
This, honestly, man, like, I feel like this is something, like, because politicians ain't finna solve this for us.
No.
Because...
And that's what some of the people are waiting for.
Because either two things. They got lobbyists in their back pocket.
Yep.
Or they're trying to virtue signal to get votes.
Yep.
Because we're not people to them.
Well,
We're
look
just
at Ron D.
You know
Look what he was saying. Let me get rid of the...
Like, I don't know. It could be a virtue signal. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, me, in my mind, I feel like we're going back. Like, if he does get rid of this, like, I feel like we're going back. You know what I'm saying? Why don't we keep this and then just plug in the loopholes? We don't have to restrict guns. Just plug in the loopholes in ways people can get through it. You know, and then if the people, of course, people will still get through it. 'Cause,
like you said, if they want to break the law, they're going to break the law. Yeah.
You know, but it's just like, just give society a peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be criminals, but if people can't feel safe doing certain things, that's when you're failing as a society, and that's where anarchy starts to take over. Because it's like, my constituents aren't doing anything to protect me, so I'll take shit into my own hands.
Which is...
You see what I'm saying? Obviously, my voice isn't being heard, so I'm going to take shit into my own hands. And then that's when you start getting the devolving of a functioning society where you have vigilantes. Well, shit, this guy, like, if I see some guy doing something, the cops aren't going to get here in time. I'll fuck him up.
And I think that's what a lot of people is worried about. It's gonna happen. I'm okay with how it is now. I don't want it to be stricter for good citizens to be able to get firearms.
Right.
Of course, yeah.
Like people who obey the law, who follow the rules.
Now,
and shit
if
like that.
they want, if he wants to make it an open carry state, I still believe that you should have to have a card or anything to where you have to get your background ran through the FBI database.
Database,
yeah.
exactly.
And your fingerprints, took, and everything like that in order for you to open carry. And like, a cop stops you or whatever, hey, let me see your license, and you don't have it, then there should be an issue.
Right.
Like, I don't think that everybody and anybody should be able to open carry in Florida.
Of course, yeah, because we're literally a gun-toting state.
But if that does happen, I still think that there should be a process of where you got to go get your name ran through the background, get your fingerprints, done, your picture taken, whatever, and then you'll be able to open carry. So if that something does happen, an issue does arise, you have an idea. Okay, well, this is my license to carry a firearm. You can either open carry or conceal carry, but you still have to have a license.
A license,
right.
Yeah.
Make sure that that you're not a whack job if they do enough. You know what I'm saying? And there's always loopholes, and everybody's saying, well, this and that.
That's the problem.
And generally, you're not going to ever get rid of anything like that. But I do believe that if you're going to open carry, if he's going to make an open carry state, we should be able to, it should be where you have to get a license. And then if you choose to open carry, that's on you, and if you get stopped or anything happens and you don't have that, and then you got to deal with the consequences. There should be consequences.
Or do you think that maybe, okay, so let's say we are open carry. Those who open carry without a permit, the consequences are harsher? Like just to kind of give people pause for cause. Like, if you're gonna open carry and take it seriously, make the consequences
harder than
if you have a permit and something like that. Like, I don't know if you. Like,
I get what you're saying.
Right.
I think there should be like a kind of a 3-strike rule. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, once if you get caught doing this or something happens or you're open carry, you don't have a license. Okay, well now here's a fine you got to pay, and you're gonna get your privileges suspended.
There you go.
For a certain amount of time. But if you keep doing it, just like DUIs.
Yeah, I was about to say like drinking and driving.
Yeah, because we have
there's
these
people that have 5 DUIs and they're still
they're
driving
still
on the road.
driving.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
So
the
it's
thing.
like if you get caught, okay, you get your rights, the rights to the carry a firearm stripped away for 6 months, a year, however. But if you keep like after the 3rd time that you just not getting the point, all right, that's it. Then you can't legally carry.
Yeah, every offense after that.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Like automatic. You know what I'm saying? But like going back to what you said earlier, like I feel like when it comes to that, where we should, if it's open carry, we should still keep that, database, that system where
Of course,
it logs people.
I think so.
Like the way I could sum my understanding of the idea is like privacy for privilege. Like, you want these privileges, you need to offer up
some of your
privacy.
privacy.
Some of your privacy.
Yeah, exactly.
They should be able to look in your background
Right.
and if you've been Baker acted before,
Right.
or if you, had committed a violent crime. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. They should be able to look
They should
into
be able
you.
to do that. Yeah, and that's a common sense type of thing. Like if we could find a way to, and you could apply that to so many things. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had like an understand, like everyone had understanding that, okay, here are the freedoms you have. Within those freedoms, you have these privileges, but to obtain these privileges, give us a piece of the privacy. You see what I'm saying? Let's know your background history.
Now, if you don't want to release that, then okay, cool.
Right.
Then you don't need to carry a
then
firearm.
you don't need to carry a firearm.
But that's the problem. People are always going to have an issue with that.
That's facts.
They want their cake and they want to eat it too.
That's facts.
Exactly. They want to. It's my right.
It's my
Exactly.
right.
My
Yeah,
First
man.
Amendment right. You know how that
I'm
goes.
gonna do that. I'm gonna let you know nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. I ain't gotta tell you nothing. What the hell? But that kind of
Back on Streamlabs.
it kind of wraps it up for today.
So, any final thoughts?
Do you have any final thoughts, Jeff?
Me? No.
Yeah.
I
You're the
mean,
least talkative today, my man.
I'm just listening.
Yeah.
I'm just listening. But
Listening and judging.
Oh yeah, 24/7.
Yeah, we're wild.
No, but like I was saying, everybody wants their cake and eat it too, and I do agree with the both perspective that you guys are coming from. That you have to give a piece of yourself in order to.
Everything's a trade-off.
Exactly.
It go like that. That's with
Give and
anything
take.
in life.
Give and take.
It's a give and take.
Yeah, but
It's a give and
But the
take.
biggest issue is a lot of people want to give, but they don't want to take.
They don't want to take.
Or
man.
they want to take, but they don't want to give.
Like we need to,
Yeah.
because it's like, that's why freedom is such a loaded word, man.
Yeah, that's
Freedom,
true.
because like, what's the true concept, the true idea of freedom? Does that entail free will? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we truly free to do, as we please without ramifications?
Nah.
You see what I'm saying? And
There's always consequences.
there's always consequences. But that's where we're gonna leave you guys off for today. I'd like to thank our guest Justin. Thank you
Yep.
for coming on, man.
Which
Thank
you-
you.
I appreciate it, and hopefully I'm on again. You know.
Oh,
for
no,
sure.
no, you'll definitely
Absolutely.
like
It's been fun. It's been real fun. My first podcast I was on, so
Oh, that's
like that.
solid.
That
Oh, for
is.
sure.
That's
Congrats on
awesome.
that. Yeah. For
But
sure.
yeah, if you wanna, like you said, bring your mom. We can discuss the real estate,
Absolutely.
business aspect of it, or anything else any topics that you have.
Yeah,
in
these
mind.
aren't one-offs.
No, yeah,
'cause
we're definitely inviting you guys back again.
Our opinions aren't the only opinion.
Nope,
you know
we're
what
just
I'm
here to
saying?
listen from your perspective.
keywords is opinions. So.
Opinions.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
Not
I
fact.
tell
I
everyone,
don't
this
wanna
ain't
get
facts. We ain't giving you no advice. We don't got the
just
answers.
stating opinions, people. Do
Exactly.
not come after me.
Yeah, we
Exactly.
don't got the, like Kanye said, you don't got the answer. But That's where we're gonna leave you guys off for today.
Thank you for meeting us at the tabletop
Thank
with
you
our
for
special
meeting us.
guest Justin.
Absolutely. Looking forward to see you out here again.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
Absolutely.
We're definitely gonna have you back on.
Alrighty,
Okay.
guys, and you folks have a great day and
Have a great one. Stay safe.
stay safe. Absolutely. You know, it's crazy out here, man. We're going through a crazy time right now.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
just trying to make sense of everything.
Oh, yeah.
Just trying to understand every aspect of life, where people are coming from, because those are the voices that need to be heard.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had that conversation. Last thought. I had this conversation with my boys yesterday, and it was just like, and with my brother.
Yeah.
Well, it's
yeah,
like
yeah. We
where-
had that conversation last time.
Where you see a lot of these podcasts, they interview famous people, but it's the same people
In every different
in
podcast.
every different podcast. It's like, well, okay, we know what they think about and what how they think and what they believe, but we don't understand the broader.
Well, they don't want to touch on things that people are going to get mad about or not see eye to eye and have that, well, this person had this person on, this is his idea, and, it's, they want to have it easy going and,
Of course.
one-sided almost.
Yeah,
where it's-
and
Well, that too,
it's-
and they're not going to take an average Joe off the street and say, "Do you want to have an interview?" You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
but you'll understand society a lot more talking to them.
You're
of
not
course.
because
You
you
know
got to
what I'm saying?
understand movie stars, TV stars, pop stars. They're all in a bubble.
Mhm.
They don't understand what
Correct.
you, me, or my brother is going through
Right.
on every day. That's why we're doing this.
Right. They,
So
they live their life based off of, social like ideals. Like it's almost like inauthentic to a point.
Yeah.
And that's neither here nor there. But like I want to capture the essence. Like that's what we want to do. We want to capture the essence of everyday people living life, and not just what the news will tell you.
exactly.
It's like, how are you perceiving your reality, and how are you moving through, and what advice can you give to other people, who may be in the same boat as you, who can resonate with you, who understands where you're coming from, and it's not like we don't all have to be kumbaya, because that's not what it means to be human.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't one China. Like this ain't one China. Like that's the
Under Kim Jong.
yeah, like that's the best example I
Yeah.
could use,
Yeah.
because it's like, one, I can understand why they have that system set up. You have 1.5 billion people.
That's a lot.
How you gonna control that many people?
Yeah, you got to have something in place.
You gotta
Exactly.
have some
Exactly.
type of iron fist. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
1.5 billion people. Imagine if they had political parties like we did.
Wow.
That'd be crazy.
But yeah, but that's kind of basically where we're coming from. We're trying to give a voice to the voiceless.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's not like whether this blows up or not, we're not gonna go look for the next pop star or movie star. We're gonna continue
Never.
interviewing the people, because the
Never.
people have a voice.
The people have a
So,
bigger
but no,
voice.
definitely we're gonna definitely invite you on again, so we can do this. Whether
forward to that.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
That's gonna be dope.
this was fun.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, it
solid,
was.
man.
Yeah,
Heck
but-
yeah.
I enjoyed it.
But,
All right, y'all. We're gonna be signing off, and y'all have a great day.
Take it easy.
Thank you.